there's so much more to athletes and coaches than what we see during competition. While sports play a huge role in each of our lives, each athlete and coach has a unique story that makes them the person we see on the court, rink, track, field, or pool. Follow along as we get to know the athletes and coaches at Creek and Behind the Athlete. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Behind the Athlete. I'm Kel McDavid alongside William McDavid, and today we have Riley Stewart on with us. Riley Stewart is a 3-time Gatorade Player of the Year, 3-time cross-country state champion, 3-time track individual champion, 4-time runner of the year, has committed to Stanford to run cross-country and track, and most recently, she was recognized as the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame High School Female Athlete of the Year. Riley, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, it's good to see you. It's always fun to watch you run, but it's also good to just, see you around.
So, Riley, to start off, how did you feel? I think you found out yesterday about being the High School Female Athlete of the Year. How did that feel?
It's really exciting because, having a female athlete, to represent cross country and to be able to, get that award. And, that doesn't happen a lot for, because this is all the sports. So to represent cross country and just represent the school, it's, an amazing achievement. I'm really excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, in terms of running, when did you start running, competitively?
I started running competitively, a little bit in middle school. I joined this club team and I'd go to some national races. But I didn't fully compete until I was in high school.
So with that, I know that you've done lots of sports over the years. Can you kind of talk about what sports you've done and then when you kind of stopped doing those sports, because you were competing at such a high level for cross country and track and playing other sports at the same time?
Yes, in high school I was playing 3 sports. I was playing club soccer. I was playing volleyball actually with Kel, who was across the table from me. We were on the same volleyball team. And so I was doing all 3 at the same time, and I stopped playing volleyball my freshman year, and then I stopped playing soccer my junior year, because that was one of the bigger ones, because I played that since I was 3. But I was I knew that cross country and track was what I wanted to do in college, and I was it's probably time for me to move to one sport. But those sports kind of set me up for where I am now, so I'm very happy about it.
Now, in terms of those 3 sports, obviously you're a very good runner, but which one was your favorite in terms of the actual sport that you're playing?
I really love cross country, the people that it brings you with. That was where I'm doing it in college, but soccer was also just a different thing, because that's more of a team oriented sport. You guys are all doing the same thing, but cross country is kind of the same thing. But I loved soccer, and I've been playing that for my whole life, so that was a big part of me. But I knew cross country was what I wanted to do, because the people it brings you in touch with, and just running with them every day is it makes my day.
That's awesome. So you kind of touched on it, but what has it been the past, 3, now 4 cross-country seasons, just kind of your development throughout high school with the relationships that you've built and also your achievements throughout the seasons?
Yeah, it's been amazing to improve each year and to come back. It's just been great, and I haven't had any injuries, which has been super nice. But to be with these girls for 4 years, and we're all going on to do our own thing in college next year, and just be part of that class with all these different girls, it's just so special to be a part of them, and it just makes it that much better.
Now, you mentioned that you started traveling kind of during middle school, and then you've obviously gone to lots of national meets during high school. How do you prep for races, especially when you're traveling?
Yes. So we usually, for the travel races, we like to take it easier a week before, so I'm more fresh for those races, considering we're traveling for them. And we usually travel in the day before I race, and then we do some shakeout runs, and we do some stuff. We look at the courses for cross country before the day before. So usually the travel trips, we just fly out the day before, we rest, and then we just see what we can do out there.
Nice. So when you're preparing for a race, mentally, I guess, would be the biggest thing. What are you thinking of, the night before a race to get yourself ready for the race the next day?
I always just tell myself, you're just going to go out there and have fun. It could be your best day, it could be your worst day, but you're going to always have those highs and lows. So I always just try to not think about it a lot, actually, and just be whatever happens out there happens. I just want to go out there and have fun and give it my all on that day, and whatever happens, I'll be happy with.
so when you're actually participating in the race, do you think of anything while you're running or not? Like, I know for myself, sometimes I would think like, the same thing over and over again as I'm like trying to run up a hill or stuff like that. So do you think of anything in particular or?
I kind of tune things out, honestly. Like, I could barely hear people around me, but like usually what I tell myself is like, I'm like at the mile, or I have like 2 miles left. I kind of just tell myself like where I'm at, and like usually in the finish, I'm like, you only have like 800 to go. You just only have like 2 laps around the track to go. Usually that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Not a lot of people would say like, oh yeah, I'm going to go run 3 miles for fun. So that's a good way to think about it, is just going out and having fun. And I think that's gets lost in sports so much, especially when you get to such a high level. I think people forget like why they're doing it. So that's awesome that you can keep that. Switching gears a little bit, as I mentioned before, you've committed to Stanford to run track and cross country. Why Stanford? What did that process look like for you? And why did you end up choosing there?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough process. Like, we talked to a bunch of people for like since my junior year, I've been talking with them. But like Stanford was different because I could tell like the Coach Clark, like who's the head coach, I could tell that he cared about like more than just being you as an athlete. Like, I could tell that he was gonna I was gonna have fun with him. Like, he's gonna let me have fun, and I'm just gonna like be a regular college student and also an athlete at the same time. So he like gets that. And also like the people that I'm committing with, I have like 5 different teammates this year that are committing with me. And I'm just really excited to be friends with them and to like make lifelong friendships with them.
That's awesome. And, I think one thing that we've always talked about is what the athlete is as a person other than just, an athlete. And I think coaches that have those ideals of, I want to know who you are as a person, is a really cool thing. On that subject, have you had any coaches in your time in high school or middle school in any sports that have really like shaped who you are as a person?
Yeah, I would say that I've had a couple coaches. I'd say that Dusto and Loman currently, they've really shaped who I am. They've like taught me to like try hard and that I really need to push myself to my fullest potential. They like actually told me to quit my other sports in order to do this. And also I have a club coach who I work with in like the postseason named Lisa, and she like won the Boston Marathon in her days. Her daughter is running pro for Team Boss. So she's been super inspirational for me. And so that was the people. Yeah.
So you've obviously had so many accomplishments over your high school time. Do you have any goals either for the rest of this season with track season coming up or in the future through college or maybe after college? Are there any things that you have in your head that are more long-term goals that you're really hoping to accomplish in the next few years?
Yes, for this season, I'm just excited to be back out there in track. I want to finish my high school season strong, and then leading into college, I want to go to NCAAs. Like, I think it'd be really cool to get All-American and to like help my team finish the best it can at nationals. Those are my long-term goals.
That's awesome. One more question I have for you is when you're thinking about running in college, every sport has a different recruiting process. So, different sports have to send film and different things like that. And I know that COVID kind of changed that for some sports, but for you, I know you kind of touched on it, but how did you get recruited? How did college coaches look for you? How did you get in touch with them? What does that look like for a cross-country runner?
Yeah, so for when I first started by sending emails to the coaches of like my times, like my races, and like what I've been doing. And that was my first step. And like it was kind of different for COVID because usually they'd fly out and watch you race and stuff like that. But like they would like watch like the big races at nationals. So I would go out and fly out to these national races and they'd watch those. And then basically all of junior and senior year, I was just on the phone with them trying to like get who they were as a person so they can see who I was as a person. And then like it got to the point where like you go on your officials and then you like make the decision from there.
That's cool. So you obviously run track as well. Can you explain to us the difference between cross country and distance running for track, and mostly like the training that those involve?
Yeah, so cross country, you definitely have a lot more hills. So like hills are more of a focus for cross country because you have to deal with that. And more endurance stuff. For track, we usually stay on the track and we do like 400s and we do like some more speed stuff. But like the main difference I'd say is like cross country is more about endurance and like track is more about speed. So like there's 2 different like kind of shifts there. Okay,
so if you had to choose one, what would you pick, cross country or track?
I think there's advantages to both. I don't think I could pick because cross country, I like being part of the team, and then track, I like having multiple events and being able to like watch everyone race. But I don't think I can pick a difference between them.
Awesome. Well, Riley, thank you so much. We have a few rapid fire questions for you, really quick. First one, what is your favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
Ooh, what's your favorite food?
I like pizza.
Do you have pizza before your races?
Oh, no, probably not.
That's a post-race.
Yes, definitely post-race.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your favorite subject?
Oh my gosh. We'll go with some science.
Okay, perfect. Well, Riley, thank you so much for coming on today. We enjoyed talking with you and getting to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, thanks for having me.